Hello, welcome back to Absolutely Not for the Meek with our favorite show.
It's over. We are screwed.
Let me try that again. Welcome back to Absolutely Not for the Meek and our favorite show.
It's over. We are screwed.
All right. So, the button just wouldn't press. Just wouldn't press.
I'm surrounded by idiots.
All right, so we're going back to John Williams, boy, and he then came out today with his report, which was in Bloomberg and some other outlets, where Tyson Foods takes a bite out of the insect protein industry. This is why I say, if you got the means, get the hell up out of here. I think this is the only country that's doing this. I mean, Europe doesn't tolerate our food that we have here. I mean, this is the only one. I mean, the world is looking at us like complete idiots. So that means when you travel outside of this country now, they'll be like, oh, you motherfuckers eat bugs in your food? Oh my God. Oh. Anyway, let's hear what he's saying. Oh my God. My bad. Let me go back.
Putting insects and bugs inside of our food.
Tyson has reached an agreement for
Bug manufacturer, and they're going to start putting insects and bugs inside of our food.
Tyson has reached an agreement for a twofold investment with Protix. It's a leading global insect ingredients company. Tyson and Protix also joining together for the operation and construction of an insect ingredient facility to upcycle food manufacturing byproducts into high-quality insect proteins and lipids.
You think I'm kidding? Look at this article, Bloomberg. This came out yesterday, October 17th. It says Tyson Foods joined bug protein craze in partnership with a startup. But unfortunately, it doesn't end there. This is actually just the start. Over the next 6 to 12 to 24 months, you're going to see so much change happen inside of the food system. How you live, where you travel, all these different things are going to start to happen. And smart and savvy entrepreneurs, investors, and Americans are paying very close attention to this so they can position themselves, because not everybody wants to eat the bugs, right? Not everybody wants to do that. So you got to position yourself for change, because at the end of the day, money equals options, options equals wealth in this new.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. But I don't know which if you're going to want to be in this freaking hellhole. What the hell is that? Damn it. Hold on. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of things with your travel. Everything's going to be changing. And I'm going to go to another guy who goes into the budget, United States government budget, and pretty much show that it's all bullshit. Anyway, this right here with these bugs is blatant disrespect. No consideration, and pretty much looking to kill you. And let me tell you why. They have a little video about, I think it's called the stick worm. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Alright, this is why eating bugs is no good for you. Not only are their shell so coarse and brittle that it'll just probably tear up your stomach. I mean, it's just the worst thing to be eating. But then this is the bigger issue right here that I'm going to share with you.
You give your pet some food and water, but later, in your pet's water dish, you find this, a hairworm. It didn't get here on its own. It came out of a little cricket. Don't believe me? Okay. These hairworms are gnarly parasites. They actually control a cricket's mind to get to their home, the water. The hairworm's journey starts innocently enough in a river as an egg, one of many in this long string. The eggs grow into squiggly larvae, which get eaten by a mayfly larva that also lives in the river. And inside the mayfly is exactly where the hairworm needs to be. The hairworm uses this pointy part to burrow into the mayfly's flesh. Then it curls up and waits. Because really, it's not after a mayfly, it's after a cricket. So it sits tight, while the mayfly larva turns into an adult and heads to dry land, where it just might get eaten by a cricket that has no idea what it's in for. Inside the cricket, the hairworm goes at it, eating all the cricket's stored up fat for about a month. The cricket loses its chirp, but the hairworm doesn't kill the cricket because the worm needs a lift back to the water. Crickets usually avoid bodies of water. They're not great swimmers. So the worm takes over, boosting chemicals in the cricket's brain, which make the cricket walk around mindlessly until it happens to reach water. Scientists in France watch this infected cricket make a beeline for the pool. The hairworm makes a break for it. Still going. That's just,
They want you to eat this.
But don't worry, they don't target humans. Ready for more? This one at the University of New Mexico has a whole lot of hairworms inside it. They don't waste any time curling around each other to mate, even before they're fully outside the cricket.
I think I rest my case. But they want you to eat these. I even seen a parasite. I don't know if it was a hairworm. I don't know how it could be, but they pulled it out of a bee. They pulled this parasite out of a bee's butt. Oh my God. Let's go back to the humble. All right, let's check it out.
Look at this. Again, yesterday, Tyson Foods announced its partnership with Protex for more sustainable protein production. Tyson Foods, one of the world's largest food companies, has reached an agreement for a twofold investment in Protex, the leading global insect ingredient company. The strategic investment will support the growth of emerging insect ingredient industry and expand the use of insect ingredients solutions to create a more efficient, sustainable proteins. This is what's happened. Food system, for the global food system. And right here, shrimp manufacturers doing the same exact thing. But look at this. They're saying that rich in protein and low in carbohydrates, they contain essential minerals, including iron, zinc, calcium, and magnesium. This is what's going. People think that they were joking when they said that you're going to eat the bugs. No. This is how this whole thing plays out. So everything's going to be about sustainability. Everything's going to be about the environment. Everything's going to be about emissions going forward. So right now, a program will train 20,000 young Americans in careers for climate and clean energy. So this push is now just starting. For example, National Geographic, to keep the planet flourishing, 30% of the Earth needs protection by 2030. So these 20,000 foot soldiers are going to start to march America looking for ways in which we can reduce our emissions. And this is going to be one of the ways, right? This is going to be this acquiring of massive blocks of farmland, of wetlands, of forests. All of these lands are going to continue to get purchased by the government. So this week, the United Nations Working Group responded to a joint statement posted online in December by some of the world's largest conservation organizations, calling for 30% of the planet to be managed for nature by 2030, and for half of the planet to be protected by 2050. But exactly what counts as protected and how countries can reach these goals is still up for debate, right? Half of the planet to be quote-unquote protected. Now look at this. This came out 2 days ago, right? White House announces new actions for home ownership. For millions of Americans, home ownership is the foundation for so many parts of their lives, and for many, it is a primary source of wealth. The Biden-Harris administration is committed to expanding access to home ownership by ensuring homeowners can afford to stay in their homes and make repairs that they need, and that the wealth-building potential for home ownership works equally for everyone. Today, the Biden-Harris administration is releasing new data showing major federal investment in home ownership. Think about this, the government's investing in home ownership, right? And announcing key new actions for accelerating progress. These actions make important strides, but given the lack of homes on the market and current interest rates, to truly ensure homeownership is accessible for all households.
Keep this. What I like about listening to multiple individuals, which I got a whole bunch of different people that I listen to, and sometimes I find new ones that make common sense. Because this channel is about making common sense common. So what I also heard is that the government told banks to don't deny illegal migrants loans. Do you see how they're propping up the system? Like I said this in another video. If you go ahead and you get migrants, you collateralize them, you monetize them like they've monetized the American citizen. That means that every time someone goes out and gets a mortgage. Now, if you got migrants, if you got like 30 dudes, they busted a house that had 30 migrants, illegals living in it. So if you got like 30 people say, yo, let's put our money together and buy this house. You know what I'm saying? So one of them goes ahead and buys the house, right? And then you got 29 others and they all living up in there on top of each other and sharing the mortgage and whatever it takes. Then they just go ahead and the next one gets their loan, get their house. People moving to that one, they just keep on buying up real estate. Because, you know, America we used to living too good to do things like that. But this is what they turn it into. They turning this into a full-blown third world country that you're gonna need to come together, and Americans just ain't gonna do that. Especially black ones. The Negro will not live with nobody. They refuse. They can't get along. It's just unbelievable. And I talk to counterparts here in these Americas, the mayonnaise base, and they were like, oh, my roommates. One time I had 4 roommates. It was like, man, they have no problem. They'll go live together, share the bills and everything like that, and go about doing their thing until they're ready to leave. It's just unbelievable. But we can't do that. So anyway, you monetize the migrant before they even become a citizen. Not to mention, they're going to start enlisting them in the military to fight wars, fight for the dollar. So they're going to go ahead and you can't deny a migrant a loan. So let's say they go get houses and they start doing this. Please believe me, there's plenty of houses available. It's just that a lot of corporations are holding them. And there's going to be a lot of bankruptcies because of people that bought Airbnbs and everything. But they're doing whatever it takes to prop it up, you know, keep it going, even though the interest rate is high. And then I think he talks about this in here, where you have to make your house carbon free. That's going to be expensive too, but you get a loan for that too. So just a massive amount of debt on the population, just in debt to your eyeballs. So, like I said, it's looking bad, but let's go on. I don't know if I should keep on going on this. You know,
We need Congress to act. That is why President Biden-Harris proposed $16 billion for neighborhood homes tax credit, which will result in more than 400,000 homes built or rehabilitated, creating a pathway for more families to buy a home and start building wealth. The president has also proposed $10 billion.
You know, I never got no tax credit. Home tax credit? Where do you get that? I never seen that. Every time you file taxes like that, you don't get no credit for having a house. It's just ridiculous.
Down payment assistance. They're really starting for the home ownership dream. They're really going after it. Many people might say, hey, this is a good thing. Connect the dots. Connect the dots. They are saying right here that they want to allow home buyers to leverage income from accessory dwelling units, right? They want to increase mortgage opportunities. They want to make home repairs easier to finance. They want to do all these different things where people become dependent. Make home repairs easier to finance. They want to do all these different things, opportunities. They want to make home repairs easier to finance, right? They want to increase mortgage opportunities. They want to make home repairs easier to finance. They want to do all these different things where people become dependent on the government. People need assistance. And once they begin needing assistance, that's only just the beginning, right? Remember 20, 30 years ago, nobody...
It's like wash, rinse, repeat. Yeah, I was telling a guy today, I was like, yo, you have no legacy here. There's no legacy. Which way you buy a house, you spend 30 years, let's say you spend 30 years paying for this house. And when you're done, you done paid almost double for it, or some outrageous amount of money, you know? And then next year, you know, if it's paid off, then you don't pay your taxes, something goes wrong, you lose your house. So that means you don't own it. I mean, or you're married, you get a divorce, and she makes you sell the house. And then it gets you for all type of fees and everything like that. You can't afford to buy another one. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I mean, I don't know when people will wake up. Maybe I lost my faith. I lost my faith in humanity. I do believe that is true, though. And don't blame me for it, because, I mean, damn. But anyway, I want to go to CPA. Let me go back out of this. In fact, I think he's next. Yep. Here we go.
President Biden made a promise to Israel and to Ukraine that the United States government would give money to fund their militaries. Israel is asking for $10 billion to start. Ukraine is requesting additional funds. It is expected to be more than $24 billion. And Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says that the US government does indeed have enough money to fund both wars. Now, I want to tell you these numbers and I want to give you some perspective, and let me know what you think about this. If Ukraine gets an additional $24 billion, that would be a total of approximately $130 billion received. So, okay, here's the perspective. To put that into context, you know, food stamps here in the US, those are called SNAP benefits. 40 million Americans are on SNAP benefits. The annual cost of that program is $110 billion. Ukraine alone will receive more than $130 billion. So just think about it, especially if you're a SNAP recipient. the US government could easily double your SNAP benefits. They could triple it, they could quadruple it. That would not be a problem. But the US government has priorities, and they have made promises to other countries. They've allocated those taxpayer dollars, and promises are promises, right? So I want to tell you what's going on. Right now, the politicians are working on an aid package that will give more money to Israel, Ukraine, and to Taiwan. I say more money to Israel because the United States already gives Israel billions of dollars every single year. It's part of our budget. It's part of our annual budget. So regarding this new additional money that the politicians are whipping up, the politicians are trying to bundle up all of this additional money into one piece of legislation. But Congressman Bacon is requesting that they separate it out by country, so they're still trying to work out the details. But just so you know, Congress can work on this, but they can't pass it. They can't pass anything yet because the House of Representatives still does not have a Speaker of the House. That's as of today, Wednesday, October.
You see how you listen to multiple sources that you can really get down to the nitty-gritty. You can see what's holding things up, why things ain't happening. You know, I mean, these people, this is the empire grasping at straws, grasping at power to maintain its place at the head of the table. I mean, by all means necessary. Doesn't matter who has to die, who will suffer. Crack the whip of the slaves. Let's go forward. Push forward. You don't want this. You're supposed to live in a free society, but guess what? Far from it. Far from it. Man. Whew. I mean, it's so deep. It's so deep that it sounds like an episode for Rumbles and BitChute. I tell you. Let's go ahead and let's proceed.
October 18th. So I want to give you a status update of what's going on in the House of Representatives. So it is now day 15 without a speaker. The Republicans kicked out Speaker of the House, Kevin McCarthy. The number 2 Republican, Congressman Steve Scalise, well, number 2 in the House, he tried for speakership. He couldn't get enough votes, so he failed. Third best option, well, now, third string, they're giving it a shot. It's Congressman Jim Jordan of Ohio. And this is very important.
And let me tell you something, why they didn't select the speaker, which he is awesome. He seems to be quite intelligent. He sticks up for what's right. He asks good questions. He drives it home in his interrogations. But they don't want that. Maybe he's not corrupt enough. Maybe they don't have him in a compromised position on tape. That's the only reason why I could think. The guy said, Arnold said why they didn't select the guy that was up for the nomination. He said, oh, we want somebody that's more willing to work with everybody. You know, like the real filthy, dirty side and everything, and the not so dirty side. You know, we want them to compromise. About it. He's not gonna get along to get along. You know what I'm saying?
Without a Speaker of the House of Representatives is paralyzed. They can't do anything. They can't pass any new bills. That means no additional money for Ukraine, no additional money for Israel, and no more money for the US federal government. If we don't get a Speaker of the House, the politicians cannot pass the government funding bill, and then the US government runs out of money on November 17th. Now, I want to tell you about Congressman Jim Jordan, our third string, who is trying to become the new speaker. So he's having problems getting enough votes. He needs 217 votes to become Speaker of the House. All the House Democrats, and it wasn't even close, he retried, and it's additional money to Israel. But Congress, of course, they can't do anything without the House, without a Speaker in the House. So Schumer is being proactive. He's preparing new legislation in the Senate. Schumer said, and I quote, "We are not waiting for the House." But in reality, of course, he has to wait for the House. Once the House of Representatives is functioning again, President Biden will increase the request for money for Ukraine. It's expected to be much more than the $24 billion.
Who agreed to that? Who said that we want to fund Ukraine? Who said that? Who said that was our responsibility? A fake war. Man. Oh my God. I guess it's nothing when you print it out of nothing.
That he was previously requesting. He's going to up it. But I don't think that's really going to be a surprise for anybody. Up until this point, Ukraine has received about $100 billion. According to the US State Department, it's $62 billion that's going through the Pentagon, $46 billion that's going through the Department of State, and US Agency for International Development. And just so you know, I know that some people know this, but a lot of people still don't know this. Not all of that money for Ukraine is going towards military and defense and fighting. US taxpayers are paying billions of dollars for food programs for Ukrainians, infrastructure, we are rebuilding their cities, Ukraine's Treasury Department, Ukraine's Department of Agriculture, and billions of dollars for Ukraine's government. So we are using US taxpayer dollars to help pay for their governments.
And for them to embezzle it, money launder it, send money back to politicians here. I had something where it showed the payoffs from the money sent out, the politicians that got paid. I'm gonna look that up. Let me see.
Bills. So listen, I want to say this. I know that many Americans do support giving more money to Ukraine. And people will say that US taxpayer money is better spent over there in Ukraine compared to spending that money here in the US. Because it's important to rebuild their cities and to help feed the Ukrainian people, to shelter the Ukrainian people and all that. But then again, we do have a lot of problems here in the United States of America. Many of our veterans are struggling to keep up with inflation. Social Security recipients are getting a measly 3.2% cost of living adjustment that was just recently announced. We have a humanitarian crisis at our border. Crime is out of control. So we can spend this money in Ukraine, but an alternative would be to spend that money over here in the US. I guess it's just a question of priorities. Now moving on to Israel. President Biden said that his administration has already started to send Israel additional military assistance. This includes interceptors for Israel's Iron Dome. Israel's request.
Hold on 1 second. I want to go ahead and pull up what I was just talking about with politicians getting paid. All right. Damn. Oh man, every time I click on something, it like pops up multiple things. All right, so here we go. I want to make sure that this should be playing over that. Okay. I don't know if you can see this. Let me go ahead to the absolute overlay. I hope you can see this. Now look at what I'm looking at here. Maybe I should blow it up some more. This is from Jack Straw. Initial reports released by a Ukrainian official show more than $1 billion of aid, money that has been sent to the Ukraine, has actually been laundered back into the pockets of U.S. government officials on both sides of the aisle and across different U.S. federal government branches of power. I don't know the real SGA. Okay. Joe Biden, $92 million Mitch McConnell, 89 million. Nancy Pelosi, 86 million. Chuck Schumer, Lindsey Graham. All this. Look at this. Maybe I should try to screenshot it. How about that screenshot? Elizabeth Warren. Who is this? There's a lady. Let me see. This lady right here. I'm about to pull her up. Dianne Feinstein. This is a woman that makes $250,000 a year. She's been doing office for 30 years. And Feinstein net worth $220 million. Just died. Dianne Feinstein net worth. Can I blow this up? I don't know if that's clear, but I could better it myself, but I'll try for the people. Dianne Feinstein net worth is $220 million US. Dianne Feinstein is the second richest politician in the United States with over $35 million in annual income. Only behind Nancy Pelosi, the inside trader. Feinstein is serving as the senior United States Senator from California, a seat she has held since 1992. Feinstein graduated from Stanford University in 1955. Ain't that something? Look at that. Age 89, she just died. Annual income of $35 million. And the kids is fighting over her money. The kids is fighting over her money. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Now you see how they get their money? This is your tax dollars supposed to be helping Ukraine. Look at the people on here. Elizabeth Warren. Ilhan Omar. Who the hell is that? 35 million. Greg Pence. Elizabeth Cheney. I wonder if that's with your Dick Cheney's wife. I tell you, it's all about the club and you ain't in it. Let's go back while they launder money that we don't have.
Requesting $10 billion of emergency assistance from the US. This is on top of the money that we give Israel every year for the past 70 years. So Israel is consistently a top aid recipient of US taxpayer dollars, and that's every year. So they've been getting about $3 billion a year. All right, so $10 billion for Israel, and I guarantee you that it's not gonna end there. That's just gonna be the start of it. Now, our Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said, and I showed you the clip. I showed you the clip the other day that the US government has enough money to fund both wars. I would say my reaction to that is that that is news to me. I didn't know that. I didn't know that the federal government had all this money. I thought that the government was in debt $33 trillion that they are not capable of paying back ever. And that doesn't even include the unfunded liabilities. And I want to update you on how bad the fiscal situation here is, how bad it is over here in the US. So the US federal government's source of income is taxes. Last year, the federal government collected about $5 trillion in taxes. This fiscal year, they're going to collect over a little bit over $4 trillion. It actually went down. Tax collections decreased because the stock market has stopped shooting up, which means less capital gains taxes for the IRS and the government. So the federal government's income is about $4 trillion a year. This fiscal year, the federal government is on track to spend $6 trillion. So that's the difference. That's overspending of $2 trillion. We're gonna go deeper into debt by $2 trillion. So where is this money coming from? It's very simple. The federal government has to borrow that $2 trillion. They have to go deeper into debt. And you might say, a lot of people say is that the US government can just print more money. So no, that is not true. That is not how it works. You have the federal government, and then you have the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve is not part of the government.
Because how it really works is, like I said earlier, you have to get loans and be the guarantor to create the money. The money comes from you. And which you create the money, but then they make you pay it back. You made the money, and then you got to pay them the money you made. Oh my God. Oh, Lord have mercy.
It's over. We are screwed.
Government. The Federal Reserve is a private organization. The Federal Reserve is not federal, and they don't have reserves. It's very misleading.
And guess who the Federal Reserve is? J.P. Morgan Chase. That's who the Federal Reserve is. I was one night I was listening to a guy. Yeah, he's on point, man. He was breaking down all the banks that they make up the Federal Reserve, and all of them are banks that J.P. Morgan took over back in the day. Banks I used to bank at that closed down, went out of business. J.P. Morgan took them over and everything like that, and they're all up under J.P. Morgan Chase, and they are the Federal Reserve.
I'm sure that's intentional. But if the Federal Reserve prints more money and they loan it to the US government, then that's going to increase inflation. And right now, the Federal Reserve has waged war against inflation. So listen, I said this before, I'll say it again. This whole situation is going from bad to worse. And I want to give you the truth. The US government says that we have money. No, we do not. We don't have money. The US government does not have money. But the politicians will send more money to other countries as soon as the House of Representatives is back up and running again. So mark my words. I'm gonna make a follow-up video on the finances of the US government. It's terrible. Not the video, the government's overspending and mismanagement of our money. That's what's terrible.
This guy is freaking awesome. He started out doing those COVID videos, clear value tax. Subscribe to him. He's bone certified. True G. You know what? And some black female says something about him, said, oh, this guy, he's not exciting and that like that. But let me tell you something, I don't need him to be exciting. I need him to give me the news. Let me know what's the scoop of what these clowns is doing, what these perpetrators is doing, what they got planned next to the financial, what Washington D.C. is planning. You know, that's all I need to know. He serves his purpose. This guy right here, he's a businessman. And just like all the other guys I got, they serve their purpose to keep me informed. And I suggest you be informed too, because I'm really sick and tired of when I go out in the world and I talk to people and they don't have a damn clue of what's really going on. No clue at all, just a deer in the headlight. And the train is coming. They're just looking at it, like, oh wow. You know what I'm saying? Just like I sent the article about Tyson Food getting with that insect company, right? And they said, well, it's just Tyson Food. I'm like, do you really think that these other small chicken manufacturers aren't buying their product from Tyson? They just buy their chickens from Tyson and put their own packaging on it, because Tyson got all the damn farms. They got the plant, they process it. So they just buy it from them and everything and put their brand on it, put their seasoning, whatever they do to it, and they put it out there. So that means this thing is gonna leak into every chicken, pretty much. I mean, unless you go into a ranch. And I mean, I tried going to a ranch. In fact, I gotta call up a lady see what's up with her fresh meat and chicken. Let's see, she got some better prices. It's back in my old town I was in. But I gotta go ahead and do that and see what I can get. Because I tried some places, man, you talk about $8 a pound for ground beef. Grass-fed ground beef, $8 a pound. When I could go to damn Sam's Club and get a 3-pack, it's 3 pounds for $16. I mean, damn. So anyway, we'll see. I love to support my local and my fresh farm stuff, but I mean, damn, man, they can't give me a better price than that. I mean, I'm not gonna go bankrupt for that, right? I gotta get the hell out of here. I gotta leave. I gotta leave this place. But with this whole thing, what I'm gathering, they're not gonna let the housing market crash. They're gonna put the migrants. They're gonna give them loans. They're gonna be like, oh, I'm living the American dream and I'm getting an SSI check. And then they'll be buying up houses. They'll be moving in. And they won't be moving into my neighborhood. I know that. Unless they're looking to pay rent in one of these owners' houses. You know, that's one thing I can't stand. You know, some of your neighbors renting at their houses. But shoot, I might rent out my house too. But anyway, but they won't be coming over here. So, man, people, get it together. Get the knowledge. Get the understanding of what's really going on. Make common sense common. And I'll check you on the next one.
They don't know that we fucking cause he call me twin. They don't know that we fucking cause I call him friend. Me and him a good mix like tonic and gin. Cause they had all I need in this life of sin. Call this pussy death row, is you out the end. Auntie in the summer, is you out the end. They don't know that we fucking cause I call him friend. They don't know that we fucking cause he call me twin. I got him saved in my phone under Fashion Nova. When he in the airplane, then I'm coming over. Break through the nigga dough like Red Rover. I can't stop cause a bitch want a Red Rover. Ass twin like a Leah, can I come over? Hell yeah, nigga, lucky 4-leaf clover. Niggas got me fucked up like acrimony. Yellow Hellcat, same color macaroni. Ass fat, so you better know I got it on me. Pussy fuck your life up like Malaroni. I ain't got 2 chains, but you can call me Tony. And I got no speaker, knock it, did it by my loan. Many men wanna kill a bitch like me. Many men wanna feel a bitch like me. Many men wanna drill a bitch like me. I let them eat it, better do it like Nike. They don't know that we fucking cause he call me twin. They don't know that we fucking cause I call him friend. Me and him a good mix like tonic and gin. Cause they had all I need in their life of sin. Call this pussy death row, is you out the end. Auntie in the summer, is you out the end. They don't know that we fucking cause he call me twin. They don't know that we fucking cause I call him friend.